guys, it's Melissa. Happy Monday. Sort of in this awkward position here because I have my Cameo right here and I want you to see it, so I'm like squatting down. But we're going to talk about Autoblades today. If there's one thing that comes through my email on an hourly basis pretty much, it is, I hate my Autoblade, I hate my Cameo 3, I want to send it out the window, it's not cutting vinyl right. It's not cutting HTV right, it's not cutting anything right. Okay, so first of all, breathe. Second of all, stop cursing everything. And thirdly, I'm going to show you exactly what is going on. This is really a big issue, especially for new users. So, your Autoblade is here. And it's hard to see on here because I'm showing it so closely, but it has this red line. Oh my gosh, this is so confusing. I feel like a weather girl where it's like backwards. Okay, so it has this red line, and this is how it comes, okay? So the way the Autoblade works is by tapping, right? And that adjusts the blade. So what happens is when you don't put the blade in correctly, it doesn't tap to the correct setting, and then it cuts too deep, and you have big problems. So let me show you what happens. I have my Silhouette Studio right next to me set up for glossy vinyl, and I have my Autoblade that I'm just going to put in my machine how 75% of new users put it in there. And I'm going to show you what happens, okay? All right, I have to kind of come around to the side here. All right, so first of all, can you see this? You've got ridges. This has ridges, okay? So it has to go in like that. Now, okay. Don't yell at me for those of you who know what I'm doing. All right, so this is how 75% of new users put their Autoblade into their machine, okay? So I've seen it even like this, okay? It does need to go down. Okay, so what happens is, now our blade is in there and I'm going to get ready to cut. Okay, you ready? Watch what's gonna happen. We're just cutting a simple circle, because I'm going to show you what happens. It's telling me. All right, hang on a second. Oops. Okay. All right, so glossy vinyl. I'm telling it Autoblade. It is just a simple circle. This is Oracal vinyl. I'm using the default cut settings. Now, it's tapping, right? But what's happening is it's going to now go over and it's going to reset. However, because this blade has a small gap, it is not tapping enough. It is not hitting enough that it's actually adjusting. And so what happens is, watch, the blade itself, even though it's tapped, remains on a level of 8 or 10 or whatever. And for, as you can see by the red line over here, sorry it's fuzzy. So what happens is, your vinyl is cut, and it cuts through. And that is not what we want, right? Okay, so let's fix this. I'm literally going to, the only thing I'm changing is how I load my Autoblade, okay? This time, I want you to notice that I pressed my blade. Last time, you maybe didn't even notice, but I had this small gap here, okay? See that little tiny gap? That matters. Your blade needs to be completely down and locked in so there is no space. Now, the only thing I'm going to do is move the position of the circle so it doesn't cut in the same spot, all right, in the studio, and I'm just literally going to send it again. I'm not changing any settings. In Silhouette Studio, the only thing I have changed is the position of where the circle is going to cut and how I have placed the blade into the carriage. And then I want you to see what happens. Sorry, I just had to go grab a weeding tool. Okay, so this time, our vinyl has cut. Whoops. Okay, sorry. And it has not cut through. Do you see? Instead, it has cut the vinyl exactly how we want it, okay? Again, the only thing that has changed is how I have positioned this Autoblade. So if you are getting bad cuts and your vinyl is cutting all the way through, or your HTV, or whatever it may be. This is specifically for things that are lined, okay, lined material like sticker paper, vinyl, HTV. If it's cutting all the way through, check how your blade is in there. There should not be any gaps, okay, even the smallest gap. It seems like it should be the other way around, like it's too high. How could the blade be touching? But again, the actual blade itself, too much of it is being exposed. Too much of that blade is being exposed when it's too high up because it's not tapping to adjust it to bring less of the blade, or to bring the blade so it's not so high. Okay? All right, so that's my little lesson today. There's more details on this same thing on the blog. I'll throw the link up for you. But be super, super careful. And that's always the first thing you should check, how your blade is positioned in the machine. And secondly, if that still does not fix it, and 99% of the time it does, you want to make sure that your firmware is up to date. You can go to silhouetteamerica.com/firmware, and that those two things, almost 100%, will change the, will fix it for you. Someone's asking me about a CB09. Yes, I was cutting with a CB09 over the weekend because if you saw what I was cutting, I'm not even kidding you, like it was the smallest thing. I can't show you because it's a gift for someone who may be watching. But it was so small, and I literally cut it like 8 times. You guys think you're the only ones who get bad cuts sometimes? No. Right here, I literally, the rest of this piece of black vinyl was wasted on bad cuts because it was so small. I finally was like, forget it. I put my CB09 in there and it worked. All right? Okay, guys, have a great day. I'll see you later.